Manoj sir, we have, you can say, yes, sir. Over to boardroom.
Right. Sir, very good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening.
Sir, we
Sir,
have
we
faculty yeah,
Yes,
please
sir.
over to you.
This
Yeah.
is faculty coordinator of JSS Law College. And we also have senior professor here, MP Nagendra Murthy, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, shall we begin, sir, with your permission?
Bilkul.
Yes, Rahul, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, with that, we conclude this 10-day capacity building program on ADR, legal aid and allied laws. It was truly an enriching experience to listen to such and a varied literacy of professionals who shared their knowledge and expertise with us. This program, as we all know, was conducted jointly by Pro Bono India and JSS Law College, Mysuru. Now, to deliver the welcome address, firstly, I would like to welcome the chief guest for this evening, Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of DNLU Jabalpur. Welcome, sir. Dr. Kalpesh Gupta, founder of Pro Bono India, Professor K.S. Suresh, the Chief Executive of JSS Law College, and Dr. N. Vanishri, Principal of JSS Law College in their absentia, and all the participants joining us virtually. Now, I would like to call upon Professor Asmatunisa Ji, Assistant Professor, JSS Law College, Mysuru, to introduce the chief guest for this evening.
Thank you, Rahul. A very good evening and pleasantful evening to one and all present here. It is my pleasure to welcome the esteemed guest and all the participants of this 10-day online capacity building program on alternative dispute resolution, legal aid and allied laws, jointly organized by JSS Law College Autonomous Mysuru and Pro Bono India. With a formal program, we conclude this course with 10 sessions, exchange of questionnaires, PPTs. We hope that it was filled with knowledgeable inputs. We firmly believe that the participants have conceived a bunch of knowledge from this program, which would be commendable for their future endeavors. We are honored to have with us Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha. Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha is working currently as a Vice Chancellor of Dharma Shastra National Law University, Jabalpur. Prior to joining this particular university, he served the Indian Law Institute as a director. He was also a doctorate in international law from Jawaharlal Nehru University. Sir has completed his LLM from the University of Nottingham and his LLB from the University of Delhi. Sir's specializations are in human rights, constitutional law, international humanitarian law and refugee law, international criminal law, and international institutions. Sir has published extensively various publications, to quote few, publications related to humanitarian law, refugee law, etc. Sir has also published his research papers in reputed journals. Sir has delivered extensive lectures on regular basis to a number of institutions, including law school overseas, UGC academic staff colleges, ICRA, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Environment and Forest. Sir has received numerous invitations to give lectures at several European universities, and Sir has invited as a professor and a visiting professor in esteemed institutions. Sir has also authored and co-authored various books.
I think that's sufficient. You can leave it there. It's going on unnecessarily.
Yes,
so
I'm just cutting short, sir. I'm just
thank you. So sometimes I have to search what I am actually. So I have so don't go for unnecessary what I have. What I am today, that is, I'm thankful to all of you that you have invited. So in fact, I should thank all of you to invite. And
our distinguished presence has illuminated the light in our program. Thank you so much for coming, sir.
Thank you.
I wholeheartedly welcome you for this valedictory program on behalf of JSS Law College and Pro Bono India. I also welcome the Chief Executive, Professor K.S. Suresh in his absentia, who is guiding star for our college with this particular types of program. Also, Vanishri ma'am, she will be joining us online. She is the principal of JSS Law College. We also have the esteemed faculty here, Professor Nagendra Murthy sir, who is with us here, who is the brain behind this particular program, and my dear students who work extensively to make this 10 days program a successful one. Dear participants who with the patience had attended all the sessions, and all of you who are present here, including Kalpesh Kumar sir, a very heartful welcome to one and all. Over to you, Ram.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Professor Sinha to render the valedictory address.
All right. Thank you very much. So I would like to thank particularly Kalpesh, always thinking about me, and whenever he has an opportunity, he associate me. And then later, which I received yesterday as a surprise. So all of us, I received a letter with the valedictory address. So I was not quite sure whether I have made a commitment or something, but immediately I said yes, because your name is there, and I have, and also I take this as very uh, important initiative or important work which Kalpesh has been doing for many years, and he has, in fact, given a momentum to the pro bono lawyering in India, access to justice, and many areas he has been doing, and he is also connecting with the law school. So I'm really thankful to the Kalpesh and also to the honorable faculty members, the head of the dean of JSS Law College, uh, for inviting me for the valedictory function. If I have to say on this, like if I look into the theme, which is a broad theme, 10 days lecture, as I heard that 10 days this program was running, and today we came to on the last session, and there many speakers were there, and some I have seen on the online also their presence. This is very timely initiative, and particularly when we have cases pending in the courts, the number is not coming down. There is no, even today I saw in the Supreme Court of India, in fact, number have increased. Earlier, Supreme Court, just today's data I'm sharing with you, it's a 81,000 cases pending in the Supreme Court of India, only on the Supreme Court of India. It means every court, every day some increase, some addition is there, percentage is increasing. And today, so before COVID, it was around 3 crore pendency, largely on the subordinate courts, then High Court, and of course in the Supreme Court. So large number of cases are pending in the subordinate courts, and then High Courts, and then Supreme Court of India. We see that. But during the COVID period, all of a sudden the surge of the cases, the number of cases have increased from 3 to 4. By the time COVID ended, it came to the around 4 crore something, and today we never recovered. We never, some of the chief justices set an agenda, like Justice Gogoi, Justice Thakur, Honorable Justice Thakur, and others. They set an agenda to reduce the pendency, but pendency has not reduced. And now they realized, particularly in time of, we must resort to the alternative dispute resolution, like an ADR, which can be mediation, which can be ADR, which can be conciliation, and any other forms. And that is aim they set for that. And this takes all, me also, what Mahatma Gandhi has done in the South Africa. So just day before yesterday, I was in Ahmedabad. I visited Sabarmati Ashram. But this you all know. So there was a caption where Gandhiji had said, my experiment with truth in the book, and that is also in the Sabarmati Ashram, it's there. In 20 years practice, and Gandhiji had said, in my 20 years practice in South Africa, I was more engaged in the settling the dispute in private means, so privately. He said, no, it's not ADR or something. He said, private. So he tried to reach on the compromise. He said, I avoided going to the court. For 20 years, I focused more on the negotiation, on private conversation. So 90% cases. And then he said, it has not, I have not lost, there is no monetary loss, or of course, I never lost my mental peace. So he said, this is this. So Gandhi, so that is very important. So he said, I had an opportunity, I could have gone to the court, but I preferred. That kind of mission you also have to take. How to, but today, if anybody goes to the lawyer, people are scared to go. They want to drag. This is for whether it's a family matter, whether it's a private or any civil disputes, there's a fear that it will go on. So that is the one issue that ADR and other. Unfortunately, ADR also in India, whatever you talk about, in over the years, it has become an alternative mode of resolving the litigation more as a courtroom. Like, because of the money involved in ADR process in India, and this has been shifted. So like ADR has become a courtroom practice, regular courtroom. It's not timely manner, and people are frustrated on that. Big firms are not settling their disputes in India despite their best efforts in the government of India. They prefer to go to the Singapore, they prefer to go to the New York, they prefer to go to the Paris and other places for ADR. Some way we need to think about, because ADR has also become a process of the legal process, like more legality, and then you collect all these things, you appear, and huge money is involved in the ADR, and that has affected ADR as a popular mode of settling of the disputes in Indian case, and particularly big firms, they prefer, even if they have dispute in India, all the bilateral investment agreement has a clause which says they will settle in Singapore or not in India. And that has become a big major hurdle for the ADR in Indian sense. If I come to the next one, the legal aid. A legal aid is very important. And legal aid, when we talk about, we mean access to justice to the weaker sections of this, access to justice to the weaker section of this, weaker sections of the society. Access to justice, when we talk, we have something, we immediately comes to our mind, legal assistance, access to justice. Access to justice is very important for the under trial prisoners. Access to justice is very important for the refugees, migrant workers, unaccompanied minors, and also access to justice to the other sections of the society. The Supreme Court of India, in number of cases, if I say, starting from M.H. Hoskat versus State of Maharashtra in the AIR 1979, SC 1548. In the first case, M.H. Hoskat versus State of Maharashtra, the Supreme Court has held that the legal aid to the poor and deserving is a part of personal liberty. It has linked with the Article 21 of the Constitution. In another landmark case, that is Khatri versus State of Bihar, AIR 1981, SC 928. What is important in that case, the recognition of the legal aid has been linked with the Article 21, and also the court has taken a serious note of government's position. So government had said, we don't have resources. We don't have resources, so we can't provide in 1981. So the court has categorically said in the case of the Khatri versus State of Bihar that state government cannot avoid its constitutional obligation to provide free legal services to a poor accused by pleading financial or administrative inability. The court had said in the Khatri, so you can't make so you have a constitutional obligation. You can't argue that we don't have resources, we don't have administrative capacity to provide the legal assistance. Over the years, things have changed, and of course, there are a series of cases. Husainara Khatun case is there, Sukhdas case is there, a series of cases where legal aid has become an integral part of the court system where legal assistance is provided. But when you as a young lawyers or young teachers, when you go to the legal aid center, you find the lawyers are not competent in a sense. Those who are representing, those who are providing the legal aid, they are not competent enough, because the well-qualified lawyers are not opting for the legal aid services, free legal aid services. But what I have seen and what we have seen today, and I keep on saying, there are cases, public interest litigation cases, where if there is a publicity, many judges have said, public interest litigation has become publicity interest litigation. So where publicity is engaged, a large number of lawyers they represent a very high profile lawyers. They appear in the cases in the Supreme Court and High Court. They without going, when they see that some kind of publicity is engaged, they go to the court and they represent there. But when it comes to the real poor people, you hardly find anybody going out, a person who has represented by State Legal Service Authority or DALSA or district level legal service authority. They are represented, but not a very competent. And that is the very important, because Legal Services Authorities Act of 1987, it clearly states efficient or effective representation is there. The term has been used in the Legal Services Authorities Act, which was adopted in 1987. And also in the Constitution, we see that Article 39A has been added in the legal. As a student in the law school, what Kalpesh is doing, what I feel you have an opportunity, you must take a pledge, you must take a vow that some time you spend for the weaker sections of the society. Those who are not in a position to hire a lawyer, where the role of the younger generation comes into play, and the work which he has been doing so pro bono lawyering is more or less is a service provided free by the pro bono lawyering, and to whom? Those who actually need. So it's not the legal assistance is important. Competent legal assistance is important. Effective legal assistance is not. You take simply, I go and represent, but when you don't put yourself 100% in the practice, you will not find the desired result. And that is the reason many litigants, they don't prefer the lawyers from the DALSA or SALSA or NALSA to represent them, because they find that their cases are not taken very seriously. And the High Court and Supreme Court on many times took serious note of the representation by the lawyers. When you do this particular exercise, and what Kalpesh has been doing for many years, I say, if you engage yourself, what you will achieve, you will learn about the community to understand the issues related to the legal and other services. If you engage yourself in the legal aid, so you'll find you connect yourself with the society, and then accordingly you move. You also start a skill in drafting PIL and other petitions, so pro bono lawyering. So it gives you an opportunity. You start drafting, drafting skill you learn. You also learn in the process basic, in factual investigation in number of cases you can do. And this also engages you in the socio-legal research on related laws. If the socio-legal approach is there, it helps you in the legal advocacy. And of course, in the other ways, this is very important. So I think all students, and access to justice is not merely legal assistance, and access to justice is also recognized as a human rights. And it has been clearly mentioned, many human rights instruments, but most appropriately, if you see, so under the Constitution, through the Supreme Court judgments, High Court judgments, it has been linked with the Article 21 of the Constitution. But in the human rights instrument, free legal aid is a human rights, and that has been mentioned under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And other important instrument, that is the right to free legal aid, is mentioned under the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. That is Article 14, paragraph 3D, which talks about, so International Covenant and Civil and Political International Human Rights, which talks about the right to free legal aid. I'm sure that you had number of sessions on this particular area, particularly in the ADR, also in the free legal aid and other areas. You have been taught to all the participants, and in fact, allied laws, I'm not sure what in the allied laws it has been covered, but more or less the time you spend here, I'm sure that for all of you, those who participated in this particular program will be might have been benefited by your participation in the program. As a law students, young students, those who are young, I suggest, I request, I urge on behalf of all the law college and others, take it as serious practice, vogue that if I go into the legal profession, I must dedicate some time. You can start doing in your third year or fourth year in your college day. So you don't need to search for something. By the time you go to the court, but unfortunately, a large number of students, they prefer, when we talk about, they prefer to go and do the internship in the corporate law and corporate banking sector. That is more important, they feel. But I believe whatever line you want to choose, even in the corporate law, there's nothing wrong in it, but you must take some time off, some time you devote for the legal aid and free legal services. If you continue to do that, I'm sure the person who are deprived of the legal aid will get justice when it comes to the any matter which pending before the court. With this, I thank all of you for giving me wonderful opportunity, and particularly Dr. Kalpesh for asking me to come and share some of my thought to all of you about the broad topic which you discussed for last 10 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for those insightful words. They truly gave us an in-depth look at the underlying philosophies and practicalities of the ADR sphere, as well as advocacy in general. Now, I would like to request Professor M.P. Nagendra Murthy, Associate Professor, JSS Law College, to render his valuable thoughts on the course. Over to you, sir.
So good evening, everyone. In fact, this idea about this particular 10-day capacity building program was conceived just 20-25 days back. Since in the final year, that is the last semester, we'll be teaching that clinical paper 3, which covers arbitration and ADR. Right, for the past 15 years, we have been in association with Bangalore Mediation Center. Now it is renamed as Karnataka Mediation Center, where 6 mediators, master trainers, they used to come and engage classes for all the 3 sections like BBA, BA and LLB students. For 3 days, they used to train our students, where the students will be made to play the role of a mediator, party counseling, and also to draft settlement and all. So that was a beautiful thing. But the thing was, it was confined only to conciliation. Sorry, mediation. They just in the introduction part, they used to say a few things on arbitration, but not in detail. So only on mediation, they used to concentrate. Some 25 days back, I, along with my colleague, Professor Asmatunisa, we thought of having a program on this particular ADR, which covers other modes of ADR and other allied laws. So we had a good experience with Pro Bono India founder Kalpesh sir, where we did conducted one program on soft skill, which went very well. It was a success program. Based on that, I asked my colleague to talk to Kalpesh regarding this program, which he called him, and he readily agreed. And that is how this particular capacity building program was conceived. And from 7th till date, it went well. Almost all the, not almost, all the resource persons did their job well. It was extremely good, where all our students and also other students, because this capacity building program was open to all, even for public and other law teachers, law students and all, free. The highlight of this program is free. If they want a certificate, they have to pay. Otherwise, they can attend. In fact, after 2 days, few law teachers contacted my colleague Asmatunisa and asked about whether they can also join. And she said, sir, it is free and it is open to all, and you can join. That is how our capacity building program was conducted. And my heartfelt thanks to Professor Kalpesh Gupta. And the value of this program was added because of the presence of 2 vice chancellors. One which was inaugurated by our own vice chancellor, Karnataka State Law University, Professor C. Basuraji inaugurated. And just now we had a concluding remark, that is valedictory address by Honorable Vice Chancellor C. Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha. So because of your presence, sir, this value of this workshop gone a little high. So on behalf of the college and Pro Bono India, I as a senior faculty, thank you and Professor Basraj, and my special thanks to Kalpesh sir and my colleague who took initiative in conducting this program in a systematic way. In fact, this program was meticulously planned and executed. And we thank all our members of the boardroom, because they did their work without any trouble. And I also thank all my students and other participants for making this particular 10-day capacity building program a grand success. And we hope that many such programs will be conducted in association with Kalpesh sir. So over to Rahul for concluding.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful words regarding the conception of this program. Now I call upon Ananya to render the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ananya N. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to yesterday, Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha, for placing this location and sharing your valuable insights. Thank you, sir, for accepting to be here today. Further, I would like to extend my gratitude to all the resource persons that have extensively delivered academically enriching sessions on various topics, without whom this program would have not been possible. It has added immense value to all of us. Further, I thank Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta for taking such an initiative to organize this 10-day capacity building program. It is not an easy feat. Thank you, sir, for your continuous and tireless efforts and constant coordination and mentorship. Further, I would like to thank Associate Professor MP Nagendra Murthy, sir, for your constant guidance and mentorship. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Professor K.S. Suresh, Chief Executive, and Dr. N. Vaneshri, Principal, JSS Law College, in their absentia for their encouragement. I would like to thank Professor Asma Tunisa, ma'am, who has taken the responsibility to organize this program. Without you, ma'am, this program would not have been possible. Thank you so much for your constant guidance, ma'am. Lastly, I would like to thank all the participants for your active engagement. I hope this program enriched your knowledge on this subject. I, along with my co-student coordinator, Sukavi Somasundaram, thank all the students who have helped us throughout this program to organize this successfully. Another small intimation to all the participants: the certificates of this program will be dispersed by the first week of May. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj sir, for joining, sir. Always you are ready to support our initiative, sir. So look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Kalpesh sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Great,
you.
sir. JSS Law College is a wonderful coordination so far, I would say. I've conducted so many programs, but it's the best coordination, no headache, nothing, at ease, like I would say. Things happen. So thank you very much for the opportunity for me, Pro Bono India and Law Teachers India last time on soft skill. So thank you very much, sir. I'm
Thank you,
grateful.
sir. Thank you. Thank you to you as well, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
For
everyone.
instant messages,
Thanks.
instant reply, and all. The program run very successfully. Thank you, sir.
So he was kind enough to work with us.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
We look forward for some more functions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, Kalpesh.
Bye. Thanks.